Filmore. I'm on it.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most underrated but beloved animated shows that were canceled too soon.
That didn't work out.
Number 20, Road Rovers. At a time when cheesy action cartoons were all the rage, one starring Man's Best Friend practically sold itself, especially since these weren't just cuddly pets. They were Kano Sapiens, aka superhero dogs. Throw in a good amount of that classic 90s camp, and Road Rovers cemented its place as one of the most entertaining kids programs of the time.
Put him down! This is what you want!
No, Hunter, don't give it to him!
Give it to them! Give it to them!
Unfortunately, an alleged lawsuit had several higher-ups playing fetch with the show's rights, and it had to be put down after just 13 episodes. If there's any justice, it's that the show's future release on DVD and streaming have finally given it the audience it always deserved.
I know what you're thinking, Rovers. Yet another megalomaniac on a volcanic island planning global conquest.
Yeah, exactly. It's been done.
Boring.
Number 19, Megas XLR. Coop and his allies spent most of their time worried about alien invaders, but as it turns out, not even giant robots and slick action could protect them from the biggest threat of all: low ratings.
Wow, I'm getting pretty popular. Too bad it's with crazy redheads and aliens.
Despite positive marks, the show quietly finished its run in 2005 and then was quickly forgotten about, at least by the network. Fans did not go down as quietly, and the strong word of mouth turned Megas XLR into an underground hit, but by then, it was already too late.
What the? Hey, that's cheating!
The show was written off as a tax loss, so no matter how many fans rally in support, Megas XLR will never power on again. Number 18, 3 Delivery. Ordering from this takeout place gets you an entree of kung fu action, a side of heartfelt characters, and a heaping dose of entertainment. Best of all, with Sue, Sid, and Toby on the case, the delivery is always on time.
You guys sure you can handle your wheels in an earthquake?
Are you kidding? Extreme quake riding is awesome!
When they're not on the clock, these 3 orphans kick some major villain tail protecting the pages of an ancient magical cookbook. And thanks to their martial arts training, they always look cool while doing it. Fans certainly thought so. It's a true shame the show only got a single season. But on the bright side, that taste was enough to make 3 Delivery an enduring fan favorite.
He will never accept defeat.
Well, will you at least listen to us long enough to get some dinner?
I'm listening.
Number 17, Sim Bionic Titan. An alien princess, a rebel soldier, and an overprotective robot seek refuge on Earth to escape a villainous dictator. Lots of fighting, laughter, and drama ensues, usually featuring the massive titular cyborg. In a nutshell, that is Symbionic Titan.
Heart, body, and mind unite as one.
I wonder what else we can do.
As anyone who's seen it will tell you, the show's balance of colorful action and mature themes makes it a must-watch to this day. Sadly, it's a quick binge. The show was canned after just 1 season.
You're terrible people and I feel sorry for you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go try and save this school.
The worst part? Of all the reasons, Symbionic Titan was taken off the air because it couldn't get a toy deal. Yeah, chalk this one up as one of the most unfair cancellations in television history. Number 16, Motorcity. In a cyberpunk Detroit, one man and his hot rod are the only thing standing between civilian liberty and total government oppression. And what better way to settle the score than with some seriously sick races?
Fall in line, Dodge!
Both of you, stop! Guys, this isn't the time for a power struggle!
Motorcity was loud, edgy, fun, and never once apologized for it. Instead, it kept burning rubber until it became one of Disney XD's most inventive shows ever. But the series' stylized plotlines were not a good fit with the rest of the network. Combined with leaked episodes and poor time slots, Motorcity didn't find an audience until it had already been canceled.
So you're telling me that thing ain't Mike? Ha! Texas wants revenge!
Even though it didn't get a proper ending, many fans agree that Motorcity is still well worth the ride. Number 15, The Life and Times of Juniper Lee. Compared to some other runs, 40 episodes across 3 whole seasons is nothing to be ashamed of. And yet, it's hard not to feel like the life and times of Juniper Lee should have gotten more. Seeing a young girl discover herself by fighting monsters just never gets old. Audiences agreed then, and they still do now.
So cool.
Do it again!
The only one who didn't think so was Cartoon Network. Rather than supporting the final episodes, they dumped them online the same day they were meant to air. But in doing so, Cartoon Network unwittingly gave Juniper Lee a massive online following. 15 years after the fact, the fan base is still as active as ever.
You can talk? Yeah, but not like you guys. Do you ever shut up? Yak, yak, yak.
Number 14, Mummies Alive.
The tiny man inside the spirit box won't threaten you anymore.
That spirit box was wired for cable. I definitely gotta get you guys back to Egypt.
For a show that's been buried for over 2 decades, Mummies Alive has a surprisingly modern sense of humor. It was initially conceived as an adult-oriented cartoon, and while those plans changed during production, that edgy tone remains in the final product. Sure, there's the classic young kid thrust into an age-old fight against darkness, but it's all surrounded by a dry wit that elevates even the most trite plot points.
You know, they'd taste better if you took the wrappings off before eating them.
Really?
Armand, that's not what I meant.
However, Mummies Alive couldn't command high viewership and was sealed back in its tomb after just 1 season. Thankfully, the internet discovered the show once again, and rightfully gave it credit for daring to try something new. Number 13, Dave the Barbarian. A canceled TV show is no laughing matter. Dave the Barbarian, though? We dare you to try and sit through an episode without cracking up.
Dear kids, we're still busy fighting evil, but we'll be home soon. Your mother says the demon monkeys may attack, but I don't think, egad, they're here. Aye, arg, ow, 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 ow.
The series is an anachronistic look at knights, magic, and siblinghood, all wrapped into one gut-busting package. It's a lot, and you'll be amazed by how many subtle jokes they squeeze into 21 episodes. In a way, that's why Dave the Barbarian has found such a prolific second life online. These are episodes you can watch over and over and still find something new each time.
And why are they pummeling Dave viciously?
Maybe he read them his poetry.
While it didn't last very long, Dave the Barbarian is the comedy that keeps on giving. Number 12, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
If it weren't for mutual cooperation, I'd never have come to the City in the Sea in the first place.
And my caddy wouldn't have a scratch on it right now.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was a show ahead of its time. Or was it behind its time? These phrases get confusing. Anyway, this futuristic series depicted a world full of dinosaurs and lizard people with a strong environmental message. The show's hero Jack leads a group of Cadillac-driving freedom fighters against the corrupt government. The series' high-quality writing and animation won its fair share of fans, but the political-based series had a hard time finding its footing among Saturday morning cartoons. The show only produced 13 episodes before the decision was made to pull the plug.
I don't suppose you'll ever let me drive one of your cars again.
Oh, I guess so.
You will?
Sure. If we ever enter a demolition derby.
Number 11, Freakazoid.
Hi, I'm gonna join you.
This is one of those shows that you have to see for yourself. Trying to describe Freakazoid just doesn't do it justice. It's part parody, part superhero drama, and part social critique. Together, all those elements make for a show that has more wit than it knows what to do with. Ironically, though, that bold sense of humor is exactly what doomed Freakazoid in the first place. The exaggerated storytelling did not connect with kids at the time. Adults, though, they were a different story.
Now, ladies, calm down. There's plenty of me for everybody. If not, I'll just have them draw me bigger.
Because of their support, the show's legacy hasn't dulled one bit over the years. If anything, Freakazoid is more entertaining now than it was when it aired, and that's saying something. Number 10, The Pirates of Dark Water.
The alien world of Mer is being devoured by dark water.
This wildly original Hanna-Barbera show started off as a miniseries before being elevated to a full commitment. Unfortunately, it only lasted 21 episodes before it was canceled. Featuring the heroic adventures of an alien pirate prince on the island planet of Mer, we can see why the show may have been a hard sell for the network executives in charge. That being said, we loved it as kids, and the show has a strong fan base still going today. We could easily see the adventures of Ren and his crew reimagined for audiences today. Aliens plus pirates? Count us in.
Monkey bird, save your breath.
Pretty nice marksmanship, eh, Niddler?
You could have skewered me.
Number 9, Biker Mice from Mars.
In this wild and woolly universe of ours, there's only 3 things you can count on. Your brains, your bros, and your bike.
Lasting 3 seasons, Biker Mice from Mars was a very strange show, and that's probably why so many kids who grew up watching it still remember it today. The story of 3 alien mice who escape their war-torn home of Mars and come to protect planet Earth from a variety of dangers. The series is remembered for its stylish tone and the outrageous main villain, Lawrence Limburger. Biker Mice spawned several video games, a short-lived Marvel series, and even received the reboot treatment around 2006. Though it wasn't quite able to stick around, the show is still fondly remembered by many fans today.
Somebody out there doesn't like us.
Yeah, those somebodies look a lot like Plutarchians.
Number 8. Earthworm Jim.
But enough of this merriment. Let us find the princess. We could search the entire swamp. Or we could just try that huge evil tower with the high-pitched screams coming from it.
Based on a popular video game released the year before, Earthworm Jim was the story of a superheroic earthworm named, you guessed it, Jim, with his advanced suit giving him extraordinary abilities. Earthworm Jim, voiced by the legendary Dan Castellaneta, fought off enemies like the Lord of Nightmares and the Archbug, saving the world for 23 episodes of adventures before the series was canceled. The franchise was able to live on through several more video games, but eventually died off. The character was quite popular, and we wouldn't be surprised to see an Earthworm Jim revival somewhere down the line.
Groovy!
Number 7. Filmore. Solving crimes as the safety patrol isn't for the faint of heart. Luckily, there's more to Filmore and his partner Ingrid than meets the eye. The same can be said of the show overall.
Looks like we have some literature MIA. Let's go have a talk with Tony.
While Filmore initially comes across as standard children's fare, it's actually filled to the brim with all sorts of clever references, Easter eggs, and parodies. This series dramatizes the school's safety patrol as something of a hard-boiled detective agency. As a result, each episode feels like a family-friendly gangster film in the best way possible.
Filmore, about what went down on the bridge.
Hey, it was a bridge you had to cross. Now you're on the other side.
Still, Filmore doesn't have as many episodes as you would expect from something with such broad appeal. But even though it's gone, Filmore is certainly not forgotten. Number 6. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey, Sam, don't you call me a fool, 'cause baby, you know that I'm way past cool.
Airing around the same time as Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, this short-lived cult classic provided viewers with a darker alternative. Sonic the Hedgehog depicted a dystopian alien planet where Sonic leads a resistance against the planet's ruler, Dr. Robotnik. The show is more mature than you might first expect, which may be why it only lasted 26 episodes. Fortunately, unlike many cartoons of the era, the show was given a satisfying series finale that saw Sonic and his allies defeat Robotnik's forces, albeit with one cliffhanger. Fans remember this series for being head and shoulders above most other Sonic cartoons.
Well, don't celebrate too soon, Hedgehog. Now, it's my turn.
Number 5. Mighty Ducks. Inspired by the popular series of Disney live-action hockey films, this cartoon told the story of a team of hockey-playing, evil-vanquishing humanoid ducks from an alternate universe. On paper, it's absolutely absurd, but it works! It's a fun cartoon that was taken from us too soon, lasting for only one 26-episode season. Its villains were wildly imaginative, and the voice acting from the entire series was memorable, being populated by some of the best voice actors of the decade. This was an extremely well-made cartoon that had an inventive and unique premise. It really is a shame we didn't get more of it.
Where's the raptor?
More to the point, where are we?
Number 4. SWAT Cats, the Radical Squadron. SWAT Cats, the Radical Squadron was another in a long line of 90s cartoons starring anthropomorphic animals who worked normal jobs by day and fought crime at night. It was, however, an excellent one. The real tragedy of SWAT Cats was that it was canceled only because it was perceived as too violent. Its fan base remained strong even though the show was canceled. And in 2015, the show's creators started a crowdfunding campaign to revive the series. It received enough funding to get the project off the ground, getting us also hyped for SWAT Cats Revolution. Number 3. Mighty Max. This anime animated series depicted the adventures of a young boy named Max, who is granted a hat that gives him portal hopping powers. This series lasted for 40 episodes, but had the potential to go for many more. And many older fans now are left wondering why it didn't.
I guess I blew a fuse or something.
The journey of Max, his mentor Virgil, and his bodyguard Norman gave us some of the most engaging storytelling and action in cartoons at the time. And the primary villain Skullmaster was even voiced by Tim Curry. To this day, the show isn't even easily available digitally or through physical media.
Not so fast, bonehead! You fool! You can't save the world! I can die trying! You will!
Number 2. Gargoyles. Starting from the theme's opening notes, this gothic action-adventure tale had us gripped. Taking a page from Batman the Animated Series, Gargoyles used its dark atmosphere and setting along with three-dimensional characters to weave a surprisingly deep story within this Disney cartoon, drawing inspiration from Shakespeare and other classical sources.
Remember, you and I are one, now and forever.
The series still has a strong following today, with its characters making appearances as cosplays, and Jordan Peele reportedly pitching an idea for a feature-length movie to Disney. Though that project has seemingly been abandoned. It was announced in October 2023 that Disney Plus was working on a live-action reboot.
Aye, his quarrymen have spread their hatred and bigotry across this island like a virus.
Enough. Time to head home.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Invader Zim.
No invader has ever been so very small. You're very small, Zim. You're a tiny thing.
But Invader's blood marches through my veins like giant radioactive rubber pants!
The adventures of Zim, Gur, Dib, and Gaz made such a strong impact despite their short run. Invader Zim has thus carved out its own recognizable pop culture niche in the years since its cancellation. The series was dark and strange, and that's why a subset of kids absolutely loved it. The show's unique animation style and dark sense of humor made it a departure from Nickelodeon's ordinary programming.
Zim, you're alive?
Yes, so very alive and full of goo, mission goo.
Maintaining wild popularity even over a decade after its cancellation, Nickelodeon decided to revive the show as a TV movie entitled Invader Zim: Enter the Florpus. Hey, if we're lucky, maybe we'll even get some more Zim after that.
Let us rain some doom down upon the filthy heads of our doomed enemies.
What's a childhood favorite that you wish got more attention? Let us know in the comments below.
What can I say? It kept me on the air for another season.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.